Empowering you, empowering tip of the day. Here we go. Hope you can hear me. We're outside. It's a little bit chilly, but not too bad. Nice and sunny. You're probably all at this point starting to go stir crazy. This could be day 15 for you inside, self-quarantined, or this could be day 2. For me, for us, it's pretty much day 2, I guess, or day 3, depending how you consider it. Trying to stay sane. So here we go. We talked on Friday about workouts. So I took a few notes. I put some notes on paper just because I don't want to forget some points. So I'm going to give a little brief introduction. It's going to be a longer video than usual. We'll do a little demonstration, and then hopefully every day we'll come up with a little bit of a new workout. So here we go for today. Just a couple of brief points. One, you don't necessarily need equipment. So I know often if you come to me in the gym, you work out with me, I'm very big on lifting weights, being strong, doing stuff like that, using equipment. But we're in a situation where gyms are closing, you don't want to go to the gym, I get that. So we don't need equipment. We can do a lot of body weight stuff, or we can even try to find things around the house. If you use salt, let's say for, whether it's salt for ice outside, or you have a water softener and you have salt. If you have a 20-pound bag, a 50-pound bag, it depends on your level. If you can hold it, you can do squats with it. You can hold it like this, bear hug it, and squat, right? If not, if you have a little child in the house, it sounds silly. You can either hug your child, or hold your child up almost goblet style, depending on how big they are. Want to be careful, and squat with them. Obviously, if you can't hold their weight or can't squat their weight, then don't do it. You want to be appropriate for what's appropriate for you. But body weight is totally fine. A couple of ways to do your workouts is usually you can either do rounds for time. So you say, I'm setting 20 minutes. I'm going to do 4 rounds of these 4 exercises. Sorry, you're going to set a timer of 20 minutes. You're going to do as many rounds as you can of these 4 exercises in that 20 minutes. Or you set, I'm doing this exercise for a minute, this exercise for a minute, this exercise for a minute, and you'll go through it a few times. So that's what we're going to end up doing today. Exercises you can do: body weight squats. You can do split squats, right? You can do lunges. I prefer backward lunges. So a split squat, you just kind of stay in this position, think back, knee down, straight down, and up, right? A lunge, a reverse lunge, would be stepping back, stepping up through that foot, and coming forward. I prefer not to do forward lunges. Often people have knee problems with them. If you have no knee problems and want to do them, go for it. You can do walking lunges in that case. With the split squat, you can advance it. You can elevate your back foot on a chair or something, and then squat down. I don't have it with me, but you can kind of do skater squats, right? There are a lot of ways to advance, do one leg work. You can do bridges on the floor. We're going to work on that in a minute when we get to our actual video. You can do 1-leg bridge, 2-leg bridge. If you have something heavy, again, you could pick it up. So if you have, sometimes people have a bag, or you have a bucket of salt, or a bucket of, I don't know, concrete, or you're about to seal your driveway with, and you have the buckets at home. You can do rows with that bucket, right? You can deadlift that bucket, right? You could do rows this way with them. There are a lot of ways you can do things. Even again, that same child, if they don't mind and you're being safe with it, you can row them that way. There are a lot of ways to do this. If you have a pull-up bar, you can do pull-up bars. We can do push-ups, which I'm gonna demonstrate at some point. Maybe not today, or maybe today in our workout. We'll see. If you have some equipment, you have a jump rope. You can do some jump roping. You can do jumping jacks. If you want to go out and get on, I'm not going to tell you to go to a track because you may want to stay home or you don't have the flexibility to go out. But if you live on a street where you can run up and down the street, do runs. Run 15 to 25 to 35 seconds as hard as you can. Warm up first. Do some nice dynamic movements to warm up before any of these exercises, right? And then do some sprints. Run the 15 seconds or up to, let's say, 45 seconds. Walk back. Nice and slowly walk back. That's your recovery. You can do that depending on your fitness level. 4 times. You can do that 10 times. And then you can do things like jump squats, right? You just want to make sure you're landing properly in a nice squatting position. Okay, so those are things you can do. And again, there are different ways we can cut it. So for today's workout, let's do this. We're going to do 1 round, 1 minute each of different exercises. So let's do air squats for 1 minute. So you can set a timer for a minute, right? You do air squats. Just want to make sure your feet are about hip width apart. Your feet could be a little bit turned outwards. You just want to make sure your knees are tracking over your toes. Doesn't mean your knees are going past your toes. They could go up to the end of your toes, but you want to make sure they're tracking over your toes. So you're pushing your knees out while you're going down. You can have your hands out like this. You can do prisoner squats. You can have your hands up in the air. Make sure upper body, you want to lead with your chest. Okay, show off your logo. I like to show off my logo, Empower. And up, right? Do that as low as you can so you feel comfortable. If that's all you can go, that's fine. If you can only go this high, then that's fine. All right, we're not going to be critical at this point. We just need to get moving. We want to get moving. So let's do a minute of air squats, a minute of push-ups. That may mean you can do 100 push-ups in a minute. That may mean you can only do 3 push-ups in a minute, and we'll progress it. So a lot of people like to do push-ups, the early progression on their knees. I'm going to say try not to do that. Give me 1 second. I would rather you do push-ups on your feet, on your toes, like in regular position, right? But just on an elevated, so you're not going as far, on some kind of elevated surface, whether it's a stair, whether it's a chair. Just make sure it's stable and you're not doing anything dangerous, okay? When you do a push-up, you want to make sure your hands are on the ground, and you want to twist so you're screwing your hands into the ground, feeling some tension, and you want to make sure almost that your inside your elbows are facing straight out. Now, your hands, when you come down, should be chest level. Not up here, not down here, chest level. Again, screw them into the ground. Make sure everything is nice and flat. Come up and down, up, down. Okay? Again, same thing happens if you're doing it on that chair. You're doing it on an elevated surface. Still screw it into that surface, right? It creates more stability in your upper back. All right, so we're gonna try to do that for a minute. As many as you can in that minute. If you have to take a break for 20 seconds during that minute, that's totally fine. Then we'll turn around, we'll get on the floor, we'll do a glute bridge. Just like this, heels into the ground, back straight, and you want to push up as high as you can go without arching your back. So just go until you feel comfortable. You should feel it in your glutes, all right? Okay, we do that for a minute. And then we're gonna plank. So you can plank one of 2 ways, I'm totally fine with it. Either, again, we try for a minute. Plank may be tough for a minute, so again, do the same thing. If you only do hold 10 seconds at a time, that's fine. If you're gonna plank in push-up style, right, and it's gonna be harder now that you've already pushed up, same thing, you wanna get your arms in that same position, back completely straight, squeeze your tush muscles, right? So everything is straight. Bring your chin in so you're nice and neutral. If you wanna do it on your elbows, which is fine, just don't hold your elbows like this. Keep your hands straight up like this. It's a better position. It's a little bit harder. And again, squeeze your glutes and just hold. Okay, again, we're trying to go for a minute, but again, a minute doesn't mean you have to hold it continuously for a minute. If it's 15 seconds, take a 5-second break, go again until we get, that's 3 times through at 20 seconds, go till a minute. And then for a minute, do something like jumping jacks. I would have you do mountain climbers, but we've already done 2 exercises on our hands lying down, and that's gonna be really hard to just hold up. So do jumping jacks. Make sure you get a full range of motion, right? A lot of people go like this. I've seen people do this. I've seen people go like this. Get a full range, right? Just for a minute. You do that, that's 5 exercises for 5 minutes, right? Do that 2 times through, you got a 10-minute good workout. Now, you could do that if you want. It's 10 minutes, you can take a break between sets, take a minute to 2 between sets. So you're doing that twice through, so the whole thing, let's say, is 12 minutes. You can either do that right away 3 times, right? So you take maybe between the 2 and the 2, you take 4 minutes or something, or come back and do that now, do it again in the later afternoon, and do it again in the evening. It may be better to split it up. We got to break up our days where a lot of us are locked inside. It's cold outside, so you're locked inside. You're either doing this inside or outside, but you're locked in. You want to take a break. Do this with your kids, right? So your kids don't want to exercise more than 10 minutes at a time. This is a great way to get it in. It doesn't have to be continuously for the half an hour, 40 minutes you go to the gym for. Sometimes it actually may be better at this point when we're stuck inside, stuck at our desks, stuck with calls, stuck with our kids inside. It may make sense to break it up and do it a few times throughout the day. Empowering tips, sorry for the long message, and we will hopefully, we'll be back tomorrow hopefully with a different workout. Good luck, let me know how it is.